What is up, guys? Kev4 here, and today I will be bringing you another video based off of the video game Total War Attila. Now in this video, me and my ally playing the Western Roman Empire will be facing the Saxons and the Jutes. Now in this video we will be trying to defend the great city of Roma against these other factions. And I just kind of try to set up the scenario to make it look more like a actual type of historical scenario that might have happened. So, like, you know, barbarian states versus Rome, so on and so forth. I wasn't expecting one of the enemies to play as the Jutes, but it still kind of worked out in the end. It was still a very interesting battle, and I really enjoyed this battle. It was really fun. But either way, guys, let's get into the army comps. Now, over here you have my ally playing as the Western Roman Empire. The army comp will more than likely appear at the bottom right of the video screen. But to me, it looks like he's got 4 units of Ravenna Elite Ballistariae. He's got 2 units of Legio Comitatensis. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sorry. And then 2 units of Western Auxilia Palatina. He's got his general, and then of course he's got the defenses of the catapults. I do have one of my catapults up here to support him in his defense of the wall. And he looks like he has 1 large onager to help him defend, which is very good. If he's holding a choke point, that will be able to kill a lot of enemy infantry. Over here you have me also playing the Western Roman Empire. I have a lot of Protectores Domestici. 4 units of those. I have 4 units. 4 units? No. Well, yeah, I have 3 units. Sorry, of cohors. I have 1 unit of Herculiani Seniores. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. I have 3 units of Comatensis spears. I have some crossbowmen over here, some Ballistariae, light crossbow infantry. I got some light slingers, and I've got a very light bow infantry. I also have a, what do they call it in this game? Scorpio? So I have a very light Scorpio. I was about to say Ballista, but, you know, it's not that what it's called. And yeah, that's pretty much my army. Over here, we've got my enemy playing as the Saxons. Looks like he has 2 units of elite Nordic spearmen. He's got 2 units of elite Nordic warriors, 1 unit of chosen warriors. He's got 3 units, if I remember correctly, of Nordic axe warriors, or maybe just 1. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 units of Nordic axe warriors. He's got some Hearthguard, Nordic warriors, Hearthguard. He has got 1 small onager. He's got some more Nordic warriors over here. He's got some, 1 unit of Nordic bows, 1 unit of Nordic hurlers, 2 units, I think. Does he have 2? No, 1 unit of elite Saxon javelinmen, and then of course he's got his general chieftain with a good right. I think that's how you pronounce it. And last but not least, we've got our last enemy over here, playing as the Jutes. He's got 2 units of light skirmishers. He's got 4 units of light skirmishers. He's got a ton of axe infantry. It looks like he's got some royal Huscarls. More royal Huscarls. Regular Huscarls. Royal Huscarls. Regular. A large onager. His Viking captain as his general. And then a unit of medium melee infantry, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, they're both bringing some siege towers and battering rams. But either way, guys, that's the army comps. Let's get to the battle. So please sit back, relax, put your glasses on and enjoy the video. Now, right whenever we start the battle over here, just to show you over here, they're gonna start moving in their towers instantly, but it takes them a very long time to move in. So I don't really want to show you this part of the battle because it's a little bit slow and boring as of right now. So let's skip over to my ally and see what's happening over here. It looks like my ally is using his large onager to try to counteract the enemy large onagers. Looks like the enemy large onagers are using regular shot to break down the gate, I think. Don't know why he's wasting him on breaking down the gate, but okay. Oh. Yeah, looks like his large onagers are already... Wait, no. That was our catapults. Our bastion onagers on the walls that just took out 2 more. So it looks like the enemy's already lost pretty much all of his large onagers, which is good. So right away you can see that the enemy is bringing up all his men, just trying to rush in and take the walls as quickly as he can. Axemen against, what are these called again? My bad. Ravenna Elite Ballistariae. Ooh, very good hit from my ally. Getting some pretty nice kills with his large onager. Let's go over to my side of the battle and see what's happening. Like I said earlier, enemy is just going to be bringing up his siege, what are they called? Siege towers. Very slowly moving his way, but taking his time. He doesn't really have anything to worry about. If you look over here, I retreated all my units except for 1 swords unit. I'm going to try to hold this gate with my swords units, deal as much damage as I can before the enemies can break through this wall and start going for my defenses that I'm going to set up over here. Going back to my allies fight, it looks like the enemy is still pushing up his siege towers. Looks like my ally has decided to stop firing his large onager. But looks like he's just going to sit back and continue to let his men fire at the enemy. Oh, maybe I was wrong. It looks like they have fired. I did not see where it hit though. Did it hit the skirmishers? Or did it hit the... Oh, it hit more of the Huskarls. In my opinion, I think my ally should save his ammo for like if the enemy groups up his units, so that he can get more kills. But it looks like my ally is actually just gonna try to hold the walls. He isn't gonna just fall back and hold the inner defenses like I am. Going back over to my side of the battle, looks like my enemy, the Saxons, have pushed up their siege towers up to the walls, and we're about to see some action here. Now, I have told my men here to hold fire with their spears until these guys drop the ram, so you'll see here, and then I click on the hold fire button right whenever they jump out, so that I can hopefully get some kills. So yeah, I saw that they weren't sending any siege towers or anything over here. I don't think they can actually. So I moved my men up to this little area right here to try to defend while my towers took out as many men as they could. Going back, looks like my enemy, before we go back to looks like my enemy is actually starting to push up some swordsmen. I forgot to put a unit of swordsmen on this wall to try to defend it, so hopefully my slingers can defend it well enough, make sure they can't break through. Going back to my ally, it looks like they have gotten onto the walls. It looks like my ally was a little late in trying to fall back his crossbow infantry. Or maybe that was his strategy. Dang, he's doing a lot of damage actually. Oh, looks like that onager bullet just got a lot of friendly fire as well as enemy fire. But the friendly, it looks like his units got back up from that. Ooh, his large onager getting a really nice amount of kills right here on this unit that is getting inside of these walls. Looks like the guy he is facing, our enemy, is kind of wasting his light skirmishers, just trying to keep the fire from the fort towers from hitting his main units. Over here, the enemy has sent up more Huskarls to attack, and my ally has still decided not to retreat his crossbows. Looks like my ally has sent out 2 units of melee infantry on the offensive to attack outside of the walls. Very brave indeed, I can respect that. Going back over to the other side of the map, looks like my unit is still continuing to hold on here and do a lot of damage. Not as much as damage as I wanted him to, but he isn't the best unit. He's a medium melee infantry, I believe. If it would let me check, that'd be great. Heavy melee infantry, wow. But he is one of the cheaper units in the Roman Empire, so I guess you can't really expect him to do too much. But he is doing what he's supposed to do. He's holding him off while the tower does some fire. Looks like he is starting to break though. Oh, looks like it stopped. Going back over to my ally's fight, it looks like my ally is starting to lose his crossbows, which is not good. Looks like the enemy decided to charge up. What is that doing? Okay. Looks like my enemy has decided to charge up his siege, his onager crews to try to take some of the fire from the crossbowmen. My ally has decided to retreat back his Legio Competences, I think that's how you say it, back into the walls.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
Ooh. Oh, didn't really get a good hit. Looks like the enemy is starting to return fire with his light skirmishers, his javelin men. His crossbow is getting a lot of kills. Also, his tower is getting a lot of kills on the enemy. He's doing a very good job of holding this wall against the enemy forces. Let's go back over to the fight over here. It looks like I have set up a little bit of formation. The Scorpio said having a little bit of an aim above these troops. I've got a cohort unit guarding this pathway against any enemy forces that come through. I've got a very light crossbow infantry to fire over that unit into any enemy units that decide to come after me. On this side, I've got some crossbowmen holding. I'm sending over another unit of infantry over to these rocks to hold that too. I've got another crossbow unit right here, so I can fall back into troops and hold this position right here. I have got another crossbowman right here, so if they get into range, I can shoot over the buildings into the enemies. And right now, I seem to be keeping a lot of units in reserve over here, but I am starting to send a lot of them in. Going back over to my ally's fight, it looks like he's doing a very good job of killing off the enemy Huskarls. But the enemy, looks like the enemy has decided just to try to charge all of his units in and try to take the walls by heavy brute force. Axes will definitely do that against swordsmen. But on walls, swordsmen have a better chance against axemen just because of the fact that the towers can fire into them. Looks like my ally has decided to charge out some units against the enemy to try to keep more of them from getting up onto the wall. Looks like my allies' infantry are doing okay against these Royal Huskarls, but since they are an action unit, they are starting to tear apart these infantry units, these swordsmen. Going back over to this fight, it still looks like the enemy hasn't decided to charge up. He's just trying to get his army inside of the walls and set up, just in case I have something up my sleeve behind the walls, such as cav or anything, which I do not. Looking back over here, looks like my enemy is deciding to bring his light artillery to try to skirmish down my infantry, either my infantry, my crossbows, or my Scorpio. Now I see that the enemy is sending in a swords unit, which I probably should have sent some troops over to help my ally out, but I ended up not doing so for whatever reason. But I am sending some troops over here because I saw that the enemy is bringing in some infantry to try to take over this checkpoint. And so I wouldn't want him to take that, so I sent over whatever infantry I could to try to hold them off. Going back over to this fight, looks like my enemy is deciding to start a charge in. Now at this point I have decided to shoot my Scorpios, I think. Yeah, I decided to shoot my Scorpios at the enemy forces. And I am going to try to shoot my very light crossbow infantry into the enemy forces as well. But these Scorpios are going to do a lot of damage, as you can see. Very good at holding these kind of choke points. And so I saw that he was starting to send in his Nordic Axe Warriors, so I decided to change fire from these Nordic Warriors into the Axe Warriors, because Axe Warriors will do more damage to my units. So let's watch that. Now I don't know if you saw that, but one of my bolts did hit them and did a little bit of damage, so they have decided to fall back. And I did decide to use my crossbows to try to get some good hits on them before they could get behind the buildings. They are starting to overwhelm this cohort unit with their 2 Nordic Warrior units because they are better at these types of battles, I believe. And for whatever reason, my crossbows decided that they didn't want to shoot at the enemies at first, so I kept trying to mess with them, putting them on fire will, so on, but they still wouldn't really shoot at them very well. So I decided to start focusing on their light slingers. As you can see, this unit is starting to break, and my enemy isn't gonna attack this area. It looks like, so I'm going to pull some more forces from up here down here soon enough. Right here, I have got my swords unit attacking this Hearth Guard. Slowly but surely, I think they are winning, but it is a tough battle. They are at a very good position. These guys look both of these units looking really cool. Let's go over and see how my ally is doing. It looks like my ally has sent his general out. The enemy doesn't have that many units left though. He's got 1 unit of Royal Huscarls, his general and skirmisher unit. He is trying to focus down those axe units to try to keep his general from dying. I'm going to keep a couple of units to reinforce me. Look at all these dead bodies. Dang. Going back to this fight, it looks like my ally's general has died, but going back to this fight, it looks like he's still holding on. I am slowly but surely winning just by a smidge. And then over here, he had broken through that area, so I sent in my Protectores Domesticae over here to try to hold back, which they are doing a very good job. I have my Scorpio focus firing on those Nordic Axe Warriors while they're charging in to try to keep them from doing too much damage. I am sending up my, well actually I told my Ballistariae to start firing, but for whatever reason, they were already in range, but for whatever reason they decided to charge up into the battle, so I had to keep them from going in all the way. It looks like my enemy has brought in his onagers to use them to try to kill my... Well, he is focus firing on my Scorpios because they do a lot of damage. Looks like these units keep breaking, but they keep coming back. So, I mean, very impressive, I have to say. So my unit's still doing a very good job of holding off all those units. I am sending in another unit of cohort to try to help hold off these enemy infantry units. I am moving up my ballistarii up here to try to get some more fire onto the enemy units over here. I am focus firing on these elite Nordic warriors. Now, in my opinion, now that I look back, I should have sent my Protectores Domestici up here and then around to attack the spear unit, and then had my well, actually I should have sent them up here, sent my archers over here to start focus firing, and when he retreated send my swordsmen in, and then tried to break through, split his army in two so he didn't have so much trying to focus on this one point. But whatever reason I did not do that. I still have a couple units of back here as reserves. I have a unit of my unit of very light bow infantry over here because I was hoping he would try to go for this checkpoint so I could just focus fire, get a lot of kills, and then once he broke through, send in a unit to hold him off and keep firing on him. His artillery getting a lot of hits on the buildings, not so much on what he was aiming for, I don't think. He did get a couple of my Scorpios though. Let's take a little bit of a look at the view that these guys have while being fired at. Taking a lot of casualties. Looks like my enemy has finally decided to move up these elite Nordic warriors. Very good hit on this area. It'll make it a little bit harder to defend, or since it's lit on fire. Looks like he is getting some good hits on my crossbow infantry. I tried to retreat my Scorpio, seeing as there was only one left, to try to use him in the future. But he did get some good hits and destroyed 3 of those. I did decide to bring in my cohorts to attack this unit because my Protectores Domestici are retreating or are about to break. Let's go back over to my ally side of the battle. It looks like he has lost. It looks like he has lost the gate and pretty much all of his army. The only thing he has left is the Raviene Elite Ballistarii. It looks like I am going to try to use my slingers to attack this, but they were glitched, and for whatever reason they wouldn't fire on this unit. I think it was because they went in here, and for whatever reason the pathfinding in this game just couldn't recognize it. And so I turned them around to kill the enemy general unit because it was coming after my slingers. They did break my spear infantry because they're not that good against what they sent after them. And they are surrounding my Herculani Senores. Looks like he has sent up his one unit of archers to try to focus down my slingers. I'm going to move them up to try to get a good flanking fire on these enemy units. My Herculani Senores doing a very good job of holding this even though they are surrounded. Going back here, I am still holding this point, even though only barely. He is still focus firing on me with his artillery. Now it looks like he has decided to charge in. Those axes are going to be very deadly. It looks like he has sent in his spear unit to hold back my Protectores Domestici, which they are going to do a very good job of that. I won't be able to break them for a little bit. I am sending in pretty much what's left of my reserves in to try to keep holding back his army. As you can see here, he's still got a very healthy force over here. He is going to send in the rest of his axe infantry though. Looks like he is going to send his axe under to keep my... looks like I'm going to try to retreat all my forces back. I kind of forgot about these forces, so I didn't get to retreat them back, so they are going to get surrounded. Look at my little ballistaria with the little tiny daggers. Looks like he is starting to break through. I am going to try to send my other spear unit to try to help in the defense. I am going to keep focus firing with my light crossbow infantry. I do have my slingers still over here. I kind of forgot about them, so he is going to try to send his axes over to take them out before they can do any real damage against my units. Looks like my unit over here is doing a very good job of holding off these two units. He is sending a unit of Nordic Axe Warriors to surround my units over here. So that's pretty much the end of those units. He's got a archer. Oh, it looks like my ally is going to send in his Ravenna Elite Ballistaria, seeing as he doesn't have any ammo anymore, to try to hold back the enemy forces, give me more time to keep defending. I have decided to activate these archers up here to try and help my general out against these Nordic Axe infantry. But my general unit is getting wrecked by this Nordic Axe infantry. Looks like my enemy is just trying to deal some damage with his Onager against my general, which he got a very good hit right there and ended up killing my general. I do have a unit of Protectorius Domesticae trying to hold back these units. Which I should have just retreated them and sent them back into battle. Looks like the rest of my general unit is retreating. And it does look like I'm going to lose this battle. There's no way I can take it back. He's still got plenty of melee units, and all I've got is these archer units. I am going to try to hold back his army with my slingers, but they're not going to do anything. I wanted to try to give my crossbows and bowmen more time to fire. Try to rack up more kills and maybe win the battle, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Everyone broke. And that is the end of the battle. Man, that was a huge battle, very interesting. My ally doing a very good job of taking out most of the enemy forces over here. Me doing a not so good job of trying to hold these choke points. I think what I did wrong was I had a lot of units over here that were defending against nothing once per unit, and I didn't have enough units defending over here. And I should have kept more units on the walls to help defend while the towers dealt more damage to the enemy, but I didn't. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Let's go see the stats. Alright, so let's look at me and the Saxons. Me not doing too well. My cohort's not doing well at all, except for this one unit right here. My spear's doing very crappily, getting absolutely nothing. My Protectores Domesticae, the one that was charging into the rest of the enemy forces that were behind me, getting 49 kills. So I mean, they probably would have gotten more if I had actually used them better. My Ballistarii not doing too bad, getting 120, 134. This one doing nothing, because this was the one to the very far right, trying to defend the choke point against the one spear infantry. This Ballistarii, I don't remember where this one came in. My bows not doing much, since they weren't really in the action that much. My slingers not doing good at all, and my army overall just didn't do well at all. Let's look at the enemy I was fighting, the Saxons. His general getting 22 kills, but I mean, he is a general, he's not going to really go into the fight too much. His elite Nordic spearmen not really paying off too well. I'm actually surprised. I was half expecting them to do a lot better. His Hearthguard, one of them doing very well, the other one not really getting much. His Nordic warriors, though, getting a lot of kills overall, except for this one, but this one still didn't do too bad. Really cost effective in this battle. He should have brought more of those instead of the spearmen, in my opinion, but I mean, no one could have known. The elite Nordic warriors doing very well in these two, this one not getting too much. The chosen warriors, they weren't really in the fight, so they didn't get any kills. His Nordic axe warriors doing very well, taking out a lot of my units, and the ones that really broke through. His elite Saxon javelin men, he didn't really use them too much, so they didn't get too many kills. His Nordic bows, again, didn't really use them too much, so didn't get too many kills. Nordic hurlers, same, and Onager, they were focusing down my Scorpio, so they didn't really get too many kills. Let's go over to my ally and his enemy. So my ally bringing a very small but very elite force. Ugh, hang on. Commentating is hard. Sorry. So his Ravenna Elite Ballistarii doing very good overall, except for one not doing too well. Getting a lot of kills. His large onager not getting as many as a large onager should, because he didn't really focus on a very large group of enemies. He just kind of used all the ammunition in the beginning. And then his melee units doing what they were supposed to do, holding back the enemy so that his crossbows and the towers could get a bunch of kills. His general actually getting a fairly decent amount of kills for a general, which so overall he did pretty well. He took out most of the enemy force and gave me more of a chance, even though I didn't take it apparently because I suck. So let's look over at his enemies. His Huskarls, his axe units, doing very well except for this one. I don't know what happened to this one. He did bring a lot of axe infantry, so I'm not surprised that they did well, because my ally pretty much had all melee infantry. That's why they got slaughtered. His general, holy crap, his general getting 204 kills. That's very good for a general. His Nordic javelin men not getting really anything, because he mainly used them as a fodder unit to try to take fire away from his main forces while he took over the walls. And his large onager not really getting any kills, because it really got taken out at the beginning. But yeah, that's pretty much the battle, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button down below. If you didn't, please let me know down in the comments below why you didn't like it and what I can do to better improve my content. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.